Okay, so let us go to our Google account. So from here we'll be going manage your Google account, and let us come to security. And let us turn on this multi-factor authentication. Done now. So now we cannot directly access the Gmail with the backend. The reason is like our multi-factor authentication is enabled. Multi-factor authentication is nothing but like revalidating that you just you, right? So to do that, first we need to create an app passwords in Google. We'll go to the app passwords, mail, other, SMTP, generate. We need to copy this and keep it with us for the further use. Okay, and let us click on done. And now we can start with our automation. But before that, what we need to know is we need to go to the settings. We need to go to IMAP. So we need to enable this, enable IMAP. Okay. Enable this as well. Click on save changes. Now we can go to our IMAP. Get IMAP mail message. In the properties, we need to fill all of our details, right? And the port is, I think, 465 or something. I'm not pretty sure about it. Like we will search Gmail SM IMAP port, map port and server. So our IMAP server is this, and the port is 993. In the similar way, for SMTP, the server is this, and the port we can say 465. So first let us go with the IMAP, and then we will go for the SMTP. Go to IMAP, and here the server is this, and the port is 993. Okay, and we need to give the email ID and password. See here we have like two options like password and secure password, which means like this will accept the string and this will accept the secure string. Secure string generally will get from when you are fetching the user ID and password from the credentials assets. And that we will see just before our RU framework, because there we are going to cover the orchestrator concepts. Okay. And here, I'm not sure about the client name and client version. We'll see. First, we'll put username and password and we'll see whether we are getting something or not. So based on that, we can continue. Our username is our Gmail. See, probably you will not get this IMAP implementation in your work experience, because I never used IMAP, but there might be scenarios that you may need to use the SMTP. So more or less the things will be common. accept the authorization or authentication or the other parameters which we are passing in. Just mail messages. Let us go for each. Log message. Current item dot subject. We'll see what subject line we are getting. Let us go to the inbox. We have set security alert, right? Let us run this. We should get an error here itself in case if some configuration is not correct, or else we will not get any error. Let us see this. We didn't got any error and we didn't got anything. Strange. We are targeting to the inbox. We are getting, okay, only unread we kept, right? So just uncheck this so that it will return us even whatever we marked as read also. Now it should print our message. See here, security alert. So which means like more or less everything is same except we passed in the email ID, password, and port and server for the IMAP. Like when you compare with your Outlook activities. So almost everything is same except the authorization, right? And let us put the other get mail messages also.
So Parth, here basically we are using the IMAP protocol, not SMT protocol, right?
IMAP, yeah, because we are reading the emails. SMTP is only for sending the emails.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, let us put all the get mail messages and see the differences. Okay, what differences we will be having. We should have few more, yeah. Why we have only 3? Should have exchange. See, when you see this, right, these are not supposed to be used here. Once again, integrations, right? Can use this as well. Yeah. For exchange, they changed a lot of things and the new things even to try the exchange new things, right? We should have the proper O365 account and all. So we cannot try it out now. Okay. But if you know the other activities, right? See, the one thing we need to focus here is like how we can deal with whatever the emails received and how we can do the operations on top of it and what we need to send. And if you know these things, right, and all the other parameter, like whatever the operations we are doing, and let me get this as well. This is that once you uh, create your account or this and all, and here you can use. One second, guys. These are related to the integration services, I guess, if I'm not wrong. Let me come back. We should have app integration, mail. These are the email protocols we generally use. Okay. Whatever outside of this is related to some integrations. Let me go to integrations, Gmail and Outlook, right? These are will be used along with your integration services. Just try to do one thing.
So Parth, get Outlook mail message and the Outlook 360 is both are different, right?
These both are different. This is like you can have like define everything, app ID and all, right? This is not Outlook. This is O365 account. Previously, we used to have the exchange service activities. Now the exchange activities, server activities are replaced with this.
Okay, Outlook 365. Okay.
Yeah. So these are like by using this Gmail scope and O365 scope, right? We just need to create some apps over there. See, for even to show you this, use Outlook 365 also, right? I need to create an app in the Azure, and then I need to link that, so that we can do only in the enterprise network, Azure network, which we don't have access. But see, accept these things, right? Everything again will be same, common. Let me do one thing. Whatever we have here for reading the email, get email by ID. Okay, can just send it here. And what is the output? Mail message. So end of the story, you are going to get a mail message. Okay, and you'll be dealing with like how you are dealing here in the operations. So just focus on these operations, and these authentication methods will change. Okay, come here.
So, Spark basically in Outlook email message box, right? We are not dealing with any protocol, right? So basically, we are
Yeah,
receiving as well and we are
we are
sending as
not
well, right?
we are not dealing with any protocol because it is directly using your desktop Outlook application.
Okay.
Yeah, because see, in this, right, you won't even see the username and password because your Outlook is already configured with your username and password, and it uses that application.
Correct.
If you go back to the last video, right, I clearly explained that even if you close this Outlook, right, till the time you open it, you may not able to send the Outlook messages. Those will be in the outbox. Okay. So if you see here, right, for IMAP, we have username, password, port, server, and the POP3, we have username, password, port, server. So accept these things, right? Everything else is same, common between these things. Okay. Let me delete this too. Delete messages, and let me run this file. We got the message, but if I refresh this, right, the mail was gone. It was got deleted. Okay. And just keep this aside and let us create one more sequence. Let us send an email using SMTP. And let me pull out the Outlook as well. Send Outlook mail message, right? See, if you see, almost everything is same. Here, you will be having port, server, email, password. Okay. But here, you will not be having that. And account you'll be having, like I told you right yesterday, like in case multiple accounts are configured, then we need to provide the account name. Okay. And all the other things are pretty common. Nothing else. Like these options, right? Is body HTML, reply to, and all these things are same as it is. But what are the additional components you're getting? Port, server, username, and password. Only these things will change. Okay. Let us do one thing. Let us go with the SMTP and let us send an email to the same mailbox again. Okay. Subject, sending email to test SMTP protocol. This is a sample email. Okay. And the port and server we need to give, right? Uh, where is this? Here it is. smtp.gmail.com. It is 465. Yeah, 465. Email is this, and password is here. Okay, let us send this email. Just come here. We received a new mail in the inbox. Here it is. Sending email to test SMTP protocol. So we received it, right? So let us send it with some attachments. Let me go downloads. Let me send my Airtel bill. Properties. This is the file path. Attach file. We'll just add an argument and we'll just put this file path here directly. Okay. Let me close this out. Let us close this as well. And now let us send this. We got one more. Here it is. We got the attachment and we got this. And now let us come back to the IMAP. Okay. And here I want to check if my mailbox, my email is having an attachment or not. Okay. So what I will do is I'll go to the box, list mail messages dot attachments. Hmm. Oh, sorry. I should not go with the list, right? I need to go with the current dot attachments dot count. So it will return me how many attachments do I have in my mailbox. And in case if I have something, if this count is greater than 0 or not equal to 0, we can put either of these. If it is not 0, then save my attachments. Save attachments. And the mail message is this. And we can give the file folder path where we want to save it. So let me take this path and let me create attachments folder here. Okay, let us run this file. Let me uncheck this delete option because I want to reuse the things. So I have one attachment, 0 attachments. So I don't have the attachments. Okay. Now if I come back to this folder, see here, I got my attachments saved. So we can save any number of attachments. See, in case if you have multiple attachments also, it will be saved. So for time being, what I will do is, let us go to the new folder, SMTP attachments. Okay. And whatever I have here, I'll take this. And I'll take few more as well. Let me go to the downloads. Let me take this presentation PPT. Let me take my profile document. Let me take a photo. Okay, so now I have all this. So I want to send all these attachments, multiple attachments. I'm not sure how many do I have in this, right? There is an issue. There is an issue. I'm not sure the number of files I need to send. In case if we have, we can just keep on adding into an um, uh, list and we can directly pass in, but we don't know, right? So first let us do some file operations and then we will come to this. So I want to get all the file names inside of this folder. So what I can do is for each, see to get all the files, whatever we have inside of our folder is directory dot get files. Here it is get files. And inside that we will be putting this. Okay. Now let us write the log message here. Actually, I thought of like having this as a separate session. I missed out this file operations. We will do that after this email. Okay. Current item. So let us run this. We'll get all the file names of that particular folder. See here, we got all the list of files. And what I will do is I'll just put this inside my SMTP to send the emails. So I'm just deleting it. Click on OK. Okay, here I can just write the same thing. Now let us run this. So here in the attachment collection, I'm just giving this directory.get files from that particular folder. And let us go back to this. See here, I got all the documents, all the attachments got attached. Okay. And let us do one thing. Now let me come back to this IMAP and let me run this. For attachments, on attachment, 0 attachments. So if I go to the folder attachments, right? See, we have 3 files got created. This is initially, and later it was like appended with the next number. Okay. And in case if you want to give the file name as well, let us do one thing. Marking this as unread. Is there an option? Mark as unread. And now let me do one thing. Let me uncheck this. So check this only unread. And here I want to write a file dot PDF. I want to save with a file dot PDF name. And let us run this file. Okay. Let us go to the attachments. Oh, it is not considering it. Okay. There will be an option. No, there is no option. But if you check this checkbox, right, it will delete the existing and it will replace it. Okay. And later, see, anyhow, like after getting it saved into the folders, right, we can rename it as per our convenience. So it is creating a folder and doing it, right? So yeah, I forgot in my previous also, like I used to rename it after saving. Okay. And let us suppose it sent all these things, right? I want to send only the attachments with PDF. I don't want to send the other inside this only. Like I want to send how many PDFs I have. I want to send all those PDFs. So what we can do is we can just put a comma here and inside of my double quotes asterisk dot PDF. What it will do is it will return me the files only with the extension PDF. Let us run this. We'll see in the output panel. we should get only the PDF file names. We should not get all the other names. So we got only one name. If you remember, previously we got 4 names and now we got only one name. So you can filter the extension also. And let me do one thing. Let me just put a pipe symbol here. st.jpg. Is it JPG or JPEG? JPG. Let me run this. Oops. Huh? Think I forgot, or let me do one thing. Even I'll do the Google search. File extensions from a folder. C#. Files with multiple extensions. So it is using. If I come here, right. So extensions can be let us do one thing. Will this accept? No. What alternate way we have in this? Let us do one thing. Directory dot get files. So here I have the methods. Path as a string, directly it will provide you all the files. And if I just hit down, we can have a search pattern as a string. Okay. Search pattern. To have a search pattern. Okay, we'll do that. I'll let you know in the next session, like when we are doing the file operations. For now, like let us go with the only PDF. So I'll just write this inside my attachments collection. So now it will send only the PDF.
But through SMTP, we can send multiple email, right? Like
Yeah.
we can give the multiple email ID, right?
You can. Okay, let us do one thing. So whatever I'm sending this, right? Let me send a Visakhapatnam banner JPG. Okay, and tell me your email ID.
Okay. I ping you. Okay, give me a minute. I think path include all the document. Now let's see whether we I will get all document or not. Let's say PPT is there, JPG file is there, PDF is there. If you are okay, then I think if you are able to basically include that all document, then
Let
I
me
think it
just
will be
first
fine.
run for this JPG and confirm me so that
Sure,
we'll
sure,
go.
sure.
See, it's not about the SMTP. It's the capabilities of the Outlook protocol, email protocols itself. Irrespective of this, it will go. Okay.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
You received, right? So irrespective whether it is a type of document or how many attachments you have, so if you provide these emails, C2 is there and CC is also there. You can CC and you can even BCC also. So whatever we have the options when we are sending the emails, so you will be having all those options here. And even I can put my display name also. Yeah. And email also, like in the email also, you will be having multiple emails you can configure, right? Even that also you can do
Yes.
that.
But
Yeah.
Srinath is right.
Yeah.
Just to check, see, basically we have to publish some reporting
Mhm.
like charts as well as the figures on the body of the mail. So
Mhm.
if I have to check how the content looks like, can we see it here?
Mm, so you mean to say like you have an Excel report and you want to send it as a mail of the mail body, right?
On the main page, because when I send it out on the body of the mail itself, it should say, for example, the sales of last 1 week and the
Mm-hmm.
graph and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Not a Excel attachment. I understand that Excel attachment can go,
I got
but
it. No,
on
no, no.
yeah,
I'm saying that that table as a mail body text, right?
yes, yes,
Okay, let me do one thing. HTML table. I'm just taking one table, this table as an example. Okay, let me go here. I'm taking this as an example. Okay, see, and whatever the table you have in
yeah,
the Excel, right? You can convert it to the HTML. That option is available. And as of now, like I think because of the legacy to the Windows migration, it may not available. I'll check that. Uh,
yeah,
just
yeah.
copy this, and I'm just putting that here
Okay,
in the double quotes. So I kept it in my body, and here I'm just checking this is body HTML checkbox.
right,
And now let us run this file.
yeah,
Of course, yeah, I was supposed to come there because it's a very much requirement by the business
yes,
people. They doesn't want to
yes.
get into the Excel. They want to see only in the mail body.
Body of the
And
mail,
Akash,
yes.
did you receive the email, Akash?
Yeah, I got it. Yeah. So
Here it is.
let's say, okay. So basically, yes.
So you can see this, right?
Yeah,
So the thing is, you can write not only text, you can write your HTML also. And when you're writing the HTML, you just need to check this checkbox enabled. If I disable this, right, it will send this HTML code. Let me run this and show
oh,
you.
okay. Got it.
Now it will send this text. If I check the
Got
checkbox,
it.
you'll be getting in this way. So you
Yeah,
can replace, right, your content in this and whatever the table data you have, right? So you can just iterate through each row and you can build your table from
yeah,
Excel to HTML, or else I think we have a direct workflow available if we see, right?
right.
Uh, data table to HTML UiPath. If I search in this, right, how to convert for, we'll go to the forum and here we will be having some, here it is. There is directly workflow available. We can just directly download it and we can pass in.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. Anyhow, like you covered this point. Uh, next, we need to continue with the file operations and we covered IMAP and SMTP. See, only one thing, but there will be a questions asked for sure. With which protocols you worked? You can say that like I worked with Outlook, I worked with Exchange Server Activities, and I worked with SMTP. The only difference is we just need to pass in the parameters compared to the Outlook. Even in the Exchange mail message also, Exchange server also. I think that was Exchange activities have got deprecated. I was not even aware because since a long time I'm not using email activities, right? So the exchanges got deprecated. and they covered that to the integrations, I guess. So there what we are going to pass in is Exchange server username password. It won't have any port. Here we are giving the port, right? There we will not have any port. We'll be giving server. Server is nothing but like Office 365.com, I think. Outlook.office365.com or something we'll be getting. Let me go for it. I forgot it. But to work with your Exchange server, right, you need to enable EWS from Office 365, which is nothing but Exchange web servers. This needs to be enabled in order for your Exchange activities to work. And later now they completely deprecated because the Microsoft announced the basic authentication deprecation. And they said like you need to go with the modern authentication, which brought this into Outlook 365. Here, if you go here, right, to add an account, here we need to give application ID and tenant ID. These two you will be getting from the Azure. In Azure, you will be providing like creating an app for this O365, and then we need to configure this app ID and tenant ID. Then we can use this. And here, right, here we can work with the shared mailbox also. So what is shared mailbox? See, what will happen is when you are dealing with your mailboxes, right? For each mailbox, you will be having like different licensings, especially when you are dealing with Microsoft, right? E3, E5, E4. Like we will be having multiple these licenses, and also we will be having A1, A2, A3. Sorry, not A1. I think you will be getting it from A3, I guess. A5. So you'll be getting in. I think we will not be having 4, 3, and 5, I guess. So we'll be having these type of licenses. Every license will have its limitation. This A means like for education purpose, and this is for the enterprise. And when you see E3 will be very limited, and you'll be having only 2 GB data, and E5 you'll be having you'll be getting like 100 GB data, but E3 is limited for 2 GB. And when I gave you the E3 license, it will be good enough for an individual, and you just need to manage your mailbox, and you just need to keep on deleting it. Generally we'll give this E3 license for the contractors, not the full time, and the E5 will be given to the full time. And let us suppose I want to create a service account, right, for the robot to work. Always remember, guys, when we are dealing with robots, we will create a service account in majority of the cases, not the user account, because the user account will have the multi-factor authentication enabled, and as per the policies that cannot be utilized by someone else, right? So always the robot will have a service account. And for this, if I provide E3 license, then the storage will be less. So what generally we do is we will not directly use this. What we will do is we'll create a shared mailbox which doesn't cost the license to the user, and it will have 100 GB data storage. And this shared mailbox, we will give the permissions for the service account or user account, whoever we are saying, right? We'll delegate the permissions to use this shared mailbox, and we can utilize the shared mailbox as part of our robot. And for example, I'll tell you, we have
so
mail.
basically,
Yeah.
where we are basically supposed to create this account in the orchestral side or what?
No. This is at the Microsoft O365.
Okay.
So this is completely irrelevant to the RPA, like your RPA. But the thing is like how we generally do the things. See, I'll tell you why I am telling this service account and all these details is when you are initially giving the prereq, right, for the process. There we need to request it. I need service account. And if the customer is first time implementing RPA, he'll ask why you want service account. We will tell that like for the robot to use, we need a service account. Robot will use this service account and we need to have admin privileges, right? And admin privileges cannot be given to users for an indefinite time. And also there will be a lot of things which they need to consider. So for the robot to have like, because unattended robot should have the admin privilege to start execute the services, right?
Correct. Correct.
Yeah. So generally, in like just to save your cost from the mailbox perspective, generally they will use the shared mailbox concept. So you can even leverage this here also. And in Outlook, you don't have it, right? The reason is in Outlook, you can configure your shared mailbox also. And in the place of, let me get this. You can configure your shared mailbox in the account, right? You just need to pass in your shared mailbox account name. So that will consider and it will access it. Okay. And in the IMAP, you don't have an option. For SMTP, you have an option to send, but for IMAP, you don't have an option to deal with the shared mailbox. So majority of the cases, right, you'll be using this O365 if they provide you this too. And the rest things will be common. And Outlook activities. Very rare cases that you'll use SMTP and IMAP. Why I used is like just to show you that there is no difference. In case if you come across also, there is no difference. The only difference is like add-on parameters and all. Got it?
So in real-time projects, basically it depend on the client side, right? Basically, what basically client you are supposed to use.
99.99%. Okay. It will be Exchange protocol. And the remaining 1% will be Outlook. Well, I'll tell you the reason as well. See, the Outlook hang and all these things may happen. So for that reason, always prefer to go with this. And now, initially, everyone used Outlook when we initially started, but now everyone is using this. But in case your client network is stringent on giving you the Exchange protocol details, like the server name, app ID, and all these things, then they will insist you to go with Outlook because of the security issues also. Here, the reason is even from outside also you can access this Exchange server if you have these IDs, not only the inside, because it's all in the cloud and it will not have any restrictions. So if you have all these details, right, you can access from anywhere. So some customers will still insist you to use the Outlook. So it all depends on how they are following and all. And even you can suggest what can be used, and based on that, maybe your lead or your architect or your manager, based on their experience, they will tell you the reason also why not to go with that. See here, you'll be saving the license cost of Outlook application or Office 365 applications. But at the same time, let us suppose if you take some banking customer, right, they will not allow, they will not agree to do that. They will force you to go with Outlook. Any BFSI domain, they will force you to go with Outlook, not with Exchange. Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
So any queries, guys? So tomorrow we'll go with the file operations and in more detail. And then next 3 days, right, 7, 8, 9 will be completely on API automation. I want to focus more on the API automation. The reason is Nowadays the requirements are good for the UiPath test suite. And when it comes to the test suite, the major concept is like API and UI automation. And even for the normal automation also, when we do the RPAs also, the APIs and the UI automations are much more important along with these things. Oh, sorry guys, not API. I need to cover PDF also, right? Give me your call, guys, whether to cover first PDF and then to API or API to PDF. What is your thoughts?
I think PDF. Then I think
Okay, let us
yeah,
put that
PDF
API
API,
and
right?
sorry.
From PDF to API, because in case we have to attach some documentation in API, how we are going to do and all that, it would be.
Okay, we'll do one thing then. We'll cover the PDF, but before we cover, even that also will take time because before I cover the PDF, right, I will cover the OCR and the regular expression patterns
Good.
because those are the key for the PDF automation.
Correct. Yes.
So I'll cover the PDF